Dear students, welcome once again to our Economics IGCSE lesson series. A reminder to you, these lessons are prepared as per 2020 to 2022 syllabus. All right, today I am going to take you through the part of chapter 1. Having covered the basic economic ideas, I assume that you are in a position to continue to chapter 1, the very important chapter of this syllabus. The chapter 1 is known as the basic economic problem. The basic economic problem. Under this chapter, we are going to have 4 units covered. Number 1 is the nature of economic problem. Number 2 is factors of production. Number 3 is opportunity cost. And the number 4 is production possibility curve diagrams. All right. Let me go direct to unit 1, that is nature of economic problem. Nature of economic problem. And this unit to have learning objectives, which are 2. You must be in a position to define unlimited wants or infinite wants and limited resources or finite resources. Number 2, you must be in a position to distinguish or to differentiate economic goods and free goods. But last, I'm going to share with you the practice questions, both multiple choice and the structured questions, to test your level of understanding. Okay, when we say the nature of economic problem, what does it mean? Nature of economic problem. What does it mean exactly? This means that what causes economic problem to exist? What causes economic problem to exist? Now, what is that economic problem and what may cause this problem to exist? Consider this diagram here. Consider the diagram here. There is economic problem, which is scarcity, but this scarcity has 2 main parts. This economic problem has 2 main parts: unlimited wants on one side and limited resources on the other side. But apart from that, we have the nature at the bottom there. Therefore, economic problem we talk about is scarcity. Under this consideration, scarcity is caused, or economic problem is caused by having unlimited wants and limited resources. Therefore, the nature of economic problem we talk about, nature means there are unlimited wants and limited resources. These 2 combined together are what form economic problem. As I have written here, this economic problem is scarcity. This means that there are unlimited wants and limited resources. There are unlimited wants and limited resources. This is scarcity. This is economic problem, which is the basic in economics. Now, because we have scarcity, because you have economic problem, what should we do? We must make choices. We have unlimited wants, numerous wants, which cannot be all satisfied. What must we do is to make choices from a list of unlimited wants. Choices must be made, and the choice of what by whom. Here we are concerned with choices made by consumers. Consumers face scarcity. Producers face scarcity, or business firms. Even government face scarcity. So every single part of an economy faces scarcity or faces economic problem. Therefore, they are subjected to make choices. All these 3 are known as economic decision makers or economic agents. Now, what does choice consumer make? Consumers or household make choices on how to allocate limited amount of money to satisfy their wants and their needs. Consumers have not enough money, have got less quantity of money, or have limited amount of income that cannot satisfy every want and need. Therefore, they must make decisions on how to allocate this amount of money they have, this limited amount of money they have, so that by the end they satisfy the wants and the needs. Firms or producers have limited amount of resources, land, labor, capital. All these resources are limited. They cannot produce everything they want. So producers must make choices on what product they should produce and what product they must sacrifice so that they make profit from that product produced. Governments all over the world have limited amount of tax revenue. So they must make choices in allocating this amount of tax revenue in spending areas. Where does government spend? Government may spend it on education, healthcare, infrastructure, benefits, and much more. There is not enough amount of money to the government to spend on all areas. The government must choose which area is very important than the other in allocating resources. Not unlimited wants equals to infinite wants, and limited resources equals to finite resources. These are alternative words that you can use. Okay, let us go to the definitions. When we say unlimited wants, what do we mean? This means there is something else human being would like to possess, therefore human being is not satisfied. Human being has got a lot of things to possess. Human being would like to possess a lot of things. These things are unlimited in the sense that they are endless, they are numerous. But speaking of limited resources or finite resources, this means amount of resources available in the economy are limited. For instance, we have limited quantity of land, we have limited quantity of labor, we have limited quantity of capital goods. This is what we call limited resources or limited factors of production or scarce factors of production. Okay, consider this list I have prepared for you. This is a list of unlimited wants. There are shoes, watches, there are TVs, phones, house, cars, and much more. This list is numerous. You can have a lot, as much as you can, as far as the wants are desires of human beings. But when we consider resources which are limited, we have limited number of enterprises, we have limited quantity of capital goods, we have limited labor, and we have limited quantity of land. Limited resources combined with unlimited wants give rise to scarcity, give rise to economic problem. Therefore, all resources available cannot produce wants to satisfy human being. Economic goods and free goods. Economic goods are those goods which are scarce relative to demand. Goods which are scarce relative to demand. What does it mean here? These goods are produced by using scarce resources and are always sold at a price. And you can mention a lot of these goods: clothes, furniture, cars, televisions, and much more are examples of economic goods. But speaking of economic goods, have opportunity cost. What does it mean by opportunity cost? Increasing consumption of one good must be associated with decreasing consumption of the other goods. To consume more of furniture, it may be associated with consuming less Of course, because our incomes are limited. Free goods, these are the goods that are not scarce relative to demand. They are not scarce relative to demand. In other words, these goods are not produced by scarce resources and are not sold at a price. They are not sold at a price, which means they are free to human beings. You can mention examples here as air, water in the rivers and the ocean, and the sunlight. All these are available to human beings at zero cost. But very important to note here, free goods have no opportunity costs. You can consume more of one good without reducing consumption of the other good. For instance, one can consume large quantity of water from ocean without reducing consumption of sunlight. Not as it is for the other subjects. Economics is guided by three principles. There are principles guiding economics and guiding our decisions. These are scarcity, choice, and opportunity cost. By having scarcity, economies must make choices. After having made choice, there is something that we sacrifice, that is opportunity cost. The next best alternative sacrificed or foregone after having made a choice or after making choice. Let us go to the practice questions. Let us go to the practice questions that are going to test your understanding. There are two parts. Part A consists of multiple choice questions, and part B consists of structured questions. Okay, there are 10 questions of multiple choice, and you can take a paper and a pen to test your understanding now. Are you ready? Okay, let me start. Question number 1. Question number 2. Question number 3. Question number 4. Question number 5. Question number 6. Question number 7. Question number 8. Question number 9. Question number 10. Okay, having done these 10 questions, multiple choice, you can now mark for yourself. You can now check for your answer. You can now check for your answer to check how much have you scored from these 10 multiple choice questions. I hope you have done good, and if you have not, please go back, revise the notes of this video so that you can understand better. Part B is about structured questions. Now, structured questions are testing your ability to analyze, to explain, to identify, even to discuss economic issues. Now, here I have put for you some simple questions, but moving forward, we are going to have questions of discussions, analysis, even descriptions. All right. Question 1. What is meant by the term economic problem? These are 2 marks. Now, what is meant by the term economic problem? To get complete 2 marks, to get the maximum of 2 marks, you must be in a position to recognize that economic problem means wants exceeding resources, or wants are unlimited and the resources are limited. You will get full 2 marks. But if you write like limited resources or scarcity, you will end up getting one mark. Okay, question 2 is explain the economic problem of scarcity. Explain the economic problem of scarcity. Now, how do you answer this question? Economic problem of scarcity means there are limited resources and unlimited wants. Therefore, choices have to be made, or there is an idea of opportunity cost. So economic problem of scarcity, by explaining this question to get a maximum of 3 marks, you must say limited resources, unlimited wants, therefore choices have to be made, or there is an idea of opportunity cost where there is scarcity. And keep in your mind that where there is scarcity, choices must be made, which will lead into opportunity costs. Question number 3, describe the nature of economic problem. Describe the nature of economic problem. How to get 4 marks here? You must tell us what is that economic problem. Now, economic problem is scarcity. This means there are limited resources and unlimited wants. Therefore, choices will need to be made, or there is idea of opportunity cost. As I said before, you must identify what is that problem. The problem is scarcity. Now, what does it mean? If this is the case, what will happen after that? Choices in terms of what to produce, how to produce, and for whom to produce. These are questions to producers. Questions to producers. We are going to discuss these questions soon. Last question for today. Explain why the economic problem can never be solved. Economic problem can never be solved. Now, the same question, which has got 4 marks, how are you going to get 4 marks from this? You must say, what is that problem? Economic problem is scarcity. This means there are limited resources and unlimited ones. Therefore, choices must be made. It cannot be solved. Economic problem cannot be solved because wants exceed resources. Wants are numerous, are many, but resources are limited. Or wants will continue to grow faster than the growth of resources. Wants continue growing faster than the growth of resources. Resources are limited. They never grow. They never increase. They may increase, but not faster than the growth of wants. Therefore, economic problem cannot be solved because resources will continue to be limited, whereas human wants will continue to expand over time. Thank you so much. Do not forget to subscribe to stay connected to every single lesson that will be posted here. Bye for now. See you next time when we discuss about the factors of production. God bless you.